Welcome back. Here we are with lesson number 76. I am under no law but God's. What a potent statement. We don't even realize how many laws and rules the ego puts us under. And it doesn't mean that we have to become rebels. No, it just means that we start to gently undo the constraints that the ego mind has put on us. And really just it's a surrendering and opening our hearts and minds up to this idea, this fact, this truth. We are in truth under no laws but God's. So I'd like you to start by just sitting on your bolster, have a comfortable shape. Let's have the Sukhasana shape with the right leg in front of the left, like Lisa is here. In the Avita practice, we really want to identify the patterns in the body. You've probably heard me use that word, patterns, and the rules that we've implored on ourselves. One of them is this idea of a flat back or a proper posture, or this way of presenting ourselves to the world. And so there's a ego body rule right there that we want to start to dissolve that. We want to be able to present and show up in the most efficient, easy, gentle, holistic way possible, right? So we want all the options. So close your eyes. Look for any of those little rules that we've imposed on ourselves, or rules that you've imposed on yourself. Sometimes they come down through family. And they can be hard to undo. They can take a little time to let go of because they're so ingrained. And then the guilt comes up if you start to slouch a little bit. Slowly curve forward. As you curve, let the rules that you've imposed on your body, let them go by bringing them up. We need to bring them to our awareness before we know what to let go of. It says in the opening paragraph, we have observed before how many senseless things have seemed to you to be salvation. How many senseless outer things we have looked toward to save ourselves. Each has imprisoned you with laws as senseless as itself. You are not bound by them. Yet to understand that this is so, you must first realize salvation lies not there. While you would seek for it in things that have no meaning, you bind yourself to laws that make no sense. Thus do you seek to prove salvation is where it is not. Even though it doesn't work, even though it doesn't bring peace and happiness, we continue to look for it, to prove that there is something outside of ourselves. Slowly raise up. Keep the peace, let everything go. Change the cross of your legs. Today, we will be glad you cannot prove it. Even though it doesn't work, we keep looking for salvation outside of ourselves in an attempt to prove it. And now it's just saying, hey, let's be glad we can't prove that happiness is outside of us. Soften forward. Let your spine curve. If you could prove it, you would forever seek salvation where it is not and never find it. The idea for today tells you once again how simple is salvation. Look for it where it awaits for you, and there it will be found. Look nowhere else, for it is nowhere else. Slowly raise up. Good. Extend your legs straight out in front of you. Good. And firm your legs. Reach out through the heels. Bring your legs to touch. Now, if you have a wall, like Lisa is perfect here, you can lean back against the wall. I'd like you to just have your legs active, leaning against the wall, a mild but sustainable activation in your legs. So the lower part of your body's active, the upper part, your back, your eyes, your face, your jaw relaxed. Think of the freedom in the recognition that you are not bound by all the strange and twisted laws you have set up to save you. You really think that you would starve unless you have stacks of green paper strips and piles of metal discs, obviously referring to money. You really think a small round pellet or some fluid pushed into your veins through a sharpened needle will ward off disease and death. You really think you are alone unless another body is with you. Relax your legs. All right, pretty heavy paragraph. All these things these outer things, from money to medication, bodily contact or another body proximity, these all things that seem to save us and bring us happiness. It is insanity that thinks these things. You call them laws and put them under different names in a long catalog of rituals that have no use and serve no purpose. You think you must obey the, quote, laws of medicine, of economics, and of health. Protect the body and you will be saved. You'll bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide. Yeah, and you can rest your hands on your knees, keep your eyes closed, rely on the wall. These are not laws, but madness. The body is endangered by the mind that hurts itself. The body suffers just in order that the mind will fail to see it is the victim of itself. The body's suffering is a mask the mind holds up to hide what really suffers. See, both of those sentences talk about how engrossing the body is. The body miscreates this gap, captures your attention when the mind is the cause of everything. So it's why we use the sensation in this practice to return to the mind. We use the sensation. We don't fight it. We don't try to fix. We don't try to correct. We follow it. It would not understand it is its own enemy, that it attacks itself and wants to die. This is speaking to the mind. It is from this your laws would save the body. It is for this you think you are a body. And so just really going head on all the ego laws and the pains and the trials and tribulations that the body goes for. It just makes it want to look for salvation in the world. And that's the trap. That's what we have to undo. Now slowly curve again. Paragraph 6. There are no laws except the laws of God. This needs repeating over and over until you realize it applies to everything that you have made in opposition to God's will. Your magic has no meaning. What it is meant to save does not exist. Only what it is meant to hide will save you. I really like using the analogy of a sleeping dream at night. Because imagine in a sleeping dream at night where your character in your dream is hurting or afraid or under duress. And if that dream character goes and looks for help in another or tries to find a solution in the dream, you can just see how insane that would be. It's a miscreation in your mind. And so the meditation, the practice is calling to the mind that sleeps and recognizing first that it's dreaming a dream. And then it's a hop, skip, and a jump to the healed mind and letting the light come through. That's the true vision. Slowly come back up out of the sensation, up to the light, and extend your legs out. The laws of God can never be replaced. We will devote today to rejoicing that this is so. So the laws of God, which is perfect love, is eternal. It has never not been, and it will never cease to be. It is no longer a truth that we would hide. We realize instead it is a truth that keeps us free forever. Magic imprisons, but the laws of God make free. The light has come because there are no laws but his. The Beatles had it right. All you need is love. All right, now I'd like you to spin around and put your head on the bolster, your feet toward the wall. Good. And then we'll have the same shapes with the right leg in front of the left. Never, ever are we trying to advance these shapes. See, that would be the wrong goal. Interlock your fingers under your head. Yeah, on top of the bolster under your head. Manage the sensation. See, in the yoga practice, we get to manage the feedback. We don't avoid it. We don't go headstrong into it. We manage it. The goal is peace. In life, we don't get to manage the circumstances. The goal remains the same. Slowly turn your head to the right. We will begin the longer practice periods today with a short review of the different kinds of laws we have believed we must obey. These would include, for example, the laws of nutrition, of immunization, of medication, and the body's protection in innumerable ways. Think further. You believe in the laws of friendship, of quote unquote good relationships and reciprocity. If I give to you, you give to me, right? Perhaps you even think that there are laws which set forth what God's and what is God's and what is yours. Many religions have been based on this. They would not save, but damn in heaven's name. Yet they are no more strange than other laws you hold must be obeyed to make you safe. There are no laws but God's. What a relief. We can rest in that. Again, we don't have to become rebels. You don't have to stop taking your vitamins. You don't have to stop taking your medications. But we stop looking to them for salvation and giving them so much power. Bring your head back to the center and switch the cross of the legs. I've been in this practice long enough to see students who will eventually make a decision to go see a doctor about some sort of pain. And what I've noticed is oftentimes when we go to the doctor, we give our healing power over to them. In short, we make them our God. And there's so many advances in technology with surgery and medications and things like that. It does not mean that you avoid them. But watch the tendency to give your healing power, to give your ability to decide for love, for your higher self. Watch the tendency to give that power away. Slowly turn your head to the left. See, Spirit might even guide you to a certain doctor. Maybe you've got to do your research a little bit. Stay in your center. Let everything continue to guide you back to your heart. Which is really a process of forgiveness. There are no laws but God's. Dismiss all foolish magical beliefs today and hold your mind in silent readiness to hear the voice that speaks the truth to you. You will be listening to one who says there is no loss under the laws of God. Payment is neither given nor received. Exchange cannot be made. There are no substitutes, and nothing is replaced by something else. God's laws forever give and never take. See, there is no reciprocity with God, although we think there is. God, please just do this for me and I'll do something for you. That won't be heard. Let love show me the way. Ask for Jesus' help. Ask for love's help in showing us the way. Bring your head back to the center. And release your arms to your sides and bend your knees. Have your feet flat on the floor. Now, bring the right knee toward the center of your chest. Interlock your fingers behind the thigh. There could be some sensation in your legs, even the left one here. Keep the left knee pointing toward the ceiling, the left foot flat on the floor. Your eyes closed. No guilt. This doesn't mean that if you've been taking medication or vitamins, or if you're drawn to a certain way of eating, things like that, it's okay. Nothing has to change. We just stop giving it so much power over us. Don't change anything, and then just give your heart over and give everything over to the one law of God. Love. God's laws forever give and never take. How do I become the recipient, the receiver? So we don't take either. We just receive and we let it come through and then we extend it out. That is the holy relationship. Hear him who tells you this. God's laws forever give and never take. Hear him who tells you this and realize how foolish are the quote unquote laws you thought upheld the world, you thought you saw. See, this includes even the laws of physics, gravity, all the laws of attraction and the Newtonian ideas. They're all made by the dreamer of the dream. We're not going to try to fight gravity. We're not going to fight any of these seeming laws. We're just going to slip past them. We stop making them so real. We live in them, but not of them. Hear him who tells you this and realize how foolish are the laws you thought upheld the world, you thought you saw. Then listen further. He will tell you more about the love your Father has for you, about the endless joy he offers you, about his yearning for his only Son, created as his channel for creation, denied to him by his belief in hell, which is just another word for separation and difference and judgment and attack. Lower your foot to the floor and bring the left knee to the center of your chest. Wrap your fingers behind, sink into the shape. No judgment about the sensation. We just become the gentle observer. Let us today open God's channels to him and let his will extend through us to him. Thus is creation endlessly increased. Yeah, now that right there might be the quick path, the quick channel to the laws of God. Thus is creation endlessly increased. See, that which we give away increases. If we give our hate away through projection, if we give our anger away through grievances, it only increases in us. So what do we want to give? What do we want to teach but love? Thus is love endlessly increased. His voice will speak of this to us, as well as of the joys of heaven, which his laws keep limitless forever. We will repeat today's idea until we have listened and understood there are no laws but God's. Then we will tell ourselves as a dedication with which the practice period concludes, I am under no laws but God's. We will repeat this dedication as often as possible today, 4 or 5 times an hour, as well as in any response to temptation, to experience ourselves as subject to other laws throughout the day. It is our statement of freedom from all danger and all tyranny. It is our acknowledgement that God is our Father and that his Son is saved. Lower your foot to the floor. Stretch your arms and legs. And when you're ready, roll onto one side and push yourself up. Have a comfortable seat. resting into your structure. Even here, maybe there's a pattern where you hold yourself in a certain way, and see if you can just give that over to God. Just let it go. Let your shoulders relax. This is a biggie. It's really asking us to look at the nature of the life that or the nature of the dream we call life. All the ego's rules and laws that uphold it. None of it's wrong, but none of it's right either. We just look at it all and gently, gently start to undo and slip past it. And we'll remind ourselves often as we go through the day, there are no laws but God's. Bring your hands to your heart. Namaste. Mm. Yeah, and we can be glad in that. It's so much less complicated.